Hi and welcome to 24 Wheelers. Today I am installing an iCom 2730 ham radio to my 2021 GMC Sierra 1500 AT4. I'm not going to be doing really a walkthrough how-to video on this one. I'm just going to kind of show you the steps that I took and specifically how I got the radio installed, what the finished product looks like, how I ran the wires, all that fun stuff. Okay, so this is the radio itself. Of course, it connects to the face unit, which I have. Currently mounted on the Lido mount seat wedge. And I think this is going to work out pretty well for now. I bought this really as a temporary solution, but I'm kind of liking it. So I don't know that I'm going to stick with this forever, but I don't have any plans or desires to really change much up at this point. I have the speaker. It is attached with some 3M, but I probably didn't need that. It's just kind of sitting in this little pocket here on the driver's side. And my mic is mounted right here, sort of underneath the steering wheel. It's easily accessible, yet out of the way, so that works out pretty well. Okay, so this truck has two entry points from the engine bay, I've discovered. One is on the driver's side, one is on the passenger side. Right now we're looking at the driver's side entry point, and it's basically that large rubber grommet where the big bundle of cables is going through. It's got that kind of off-white shroud around it. And just on the underside of that big grommet is a, for lack of a better term, a nipple that you would just kind of make a cut in or cut the end of it off potentially. And you run whatever wires you want to run through that. There's also one on the passenger side, which is a little more difficult to see, but it's right there behind the battery box. And it has that same kind of off-white shroud on it as did the driver's side version. This is the option I chose. I don't really remember why I chose this option, but this is the one that I chose. So I ran the power cable for the radio and the antenna cable as well through this hole. I did those individually. I tried to do them at the same time. I thought that might be easier, but that really didn't work out very well. So I ended up doing them separate, and honestly, that was the way to go. That was really, really simple. In addition to the power cables, I also ran the antenna cable through that same entry point up to using the Diamond, I believe is the brand, the Diamond mount. It's an NMO mount. I use the Comet SBB1, little shorty antenna. I found that's really about all I need. Once you locate the entry point where you're going to run whatever wires into your vehicle, whether for a ham radio or something else, from the engine bay into the cab, you're going to want to get one of these tools if you don't have one already. This is a fish tape tool. I will leave a link to this particular item in the description. Feel free to check that out if you would like. Once you run the wires through that grommet there in the engine bay, using that handy dandy fish tape, this particular truck has this aesthetically pleasing carpet that's pinned up to cover up all the underneath there. So you got to pull that down and then sort of reach your hand up under this area. There was a plastic box thing, which I honestly don't know what it was, but there was a plastic box thing that I ended up having to remove just to be able to get my hand up in such a way that I could reach the wires once I ran them through the engine bay. So once I did that, I was able to grab a hold of those wires, pull them down. Once I ran the cables using that fish tape across underneath the dash and across the console, pulled them out from this little area right back in there, and then essentially tucked the cables back behind this plastic piece. That is the side panel essentially of the middle console, and then obviously ran those cables back to here. You can't really see them back in there, but they're back there. This is some extra antenna cable that I just bound up and secured with a zip tie. Everything's pretty well hidden, which is the way I like it. I do have a little red wire peeking out over there that I need to clean up. But everything, other than that, I guess, everything is pretty well hidden. The way that I did this, you really can't see it from here, but basically what I did was I attached this bracket right there to a piece of, it's not plexiglass, but it's a plastic like that. The name is escaping me at the moment. But basically I put that underneath the carpet and then drilled some holes, cut some holes essentially in the carpet and attach that there. All right, that's my very simple recap of how I installed the iCom 2730 in my GMC AT4. Super simple installation. The hardest thing, honestly, was running the cables through the engine bay into the cab, as you might expect. That was a little complicated, but once I got the fish tape tool, I didn't previously have one of those, but now that I do, I'm sure I'll use it plenty in the future. Once I got that, the installation itself was pretty simple. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Also, consider subscribing to my channel for more camping, off-roading, overlanding, gear, and most certainly motorcycles related content. I would greatly appreciate it. And remember, whether on the trail or on the road, I'll see you out there.